Making a quick video today on some upgrades on my Scx6 here, and specifically anti-foams. So these are 3D printed foams that replace the stock foams in the tires here. And if you own one of these trucks, you know already that the stock foams are really soft, and especially like side hilling, the tires tend to really like fold over a lot and they just get really mushy. The other bad thing, if you do run this truck through water or even snow, any kind of moisture that gets into the tires is really going to saturate these foams and break them down very quickly. They'll just start to kind of disintegrate over time, and they get really stinky, especially if you run through like swampy water. You get bacteria in there. It's really kind of gross. You could vent your tires, but either way, if you do get them wet, there's really no option other than taking them apart and drying these out. It's a huge pain. So if you're going to run through water, you definitely want to use 3D printed foams. I want to talk about something that is often overlooked when it comes to replacing regular foams with 3D foams, or even to some extent like a dual stage foam. Everyone talks about the advantages, obviously, of the lateral stiffness. These things don't really want to move laterally, but they do squish vertically, which is exactly what you want in your tire. These just mush kind of all over the place, but what a lot of people don't discuss and what you don't hear of too often is the difference in weight. I weighed these guys and I was surprised. I didn't really even think of it at first, but when I felt this, I was like, oh man, this has a good amount of weight to it. Let me see what the difference is. So I threw them on the scale, and it is 120 grams heavier per wheel. That's a little over 4 ounces per wheel, or in total, a pound of weight getting added to your wheels, right? That is at least, I still run the stock plastic wheels, but I'm gonna guess that upgrading to aluminum beadlocks, this is probably adding just as much weight as doing that, if not more. I'm not sure how much heavier aluminum beadlocks are over the plastic ones. I may find out at some point. If you're looking to add weight to this vehicle, if you want to run the whole stock body with the stock spare on the back and you have a lot of weight up high and you're looking for a little bit better performance in terms of stability, and you want to add weight down low, I mean, these are $80. You're going to get all the advantages that everyone usually mentions in terms of lateral compliance and just the way they kind of really conform going over rocks and stuff. And they last a very long time, and they're waterproof. You're going to get all that. But you're also going to essentially for free get like a really significant increase in weight down low on the vehicle. You got to remember, like, half of your wheel is below the axle, as low as you're going to get weight at all times. When it's rotating, half of it's always below the axle. Now that being said, rotational weight isn't necessarily the best weight to add. That's why a lot of guys, especially like comp level crawlers, will choose to add weight to the actual axle via like portal weights, or actually heavier axles, aluminum or brass inserts in the axles, or brass knuckles and things like that, because rotational weight is always going to be a detriment when it comes to acceleration. If you're trying to bump it up an obstacle to kind of like get it to hop up, it's going to put a little more strain on your drivetrain. So it's not the ideal spot, but I think just for general crawling, and especially on a trail truck like this, adding some weight to the wheels is not a bad thing. It's definitely going to give it a lot more stability. Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to mention. So if you guys haven't thought about that and you're thinking like, oh, the 3D printed foams are a little expensive, I think these were like $80. These are the Three Brothers RC. These to me are like the nicest print job that I've seen on any 3D printed foam. They really do a nice job on these things, and I know they work extremely well. I have some on my Capra for a while now, and they're unbelievably, it's just completely changed, better than anything else I've ever used, including like Proline dual stages and stuff. And again, with other foams, you're always going to run into the issue of just degrading over time. They're going to get softer, they're going to wear out. If you get them wet, it's a huge issue. So these things are huge. So for $80, considering like how much you would spend on brass to add weight to your vehicle, This is essentially doing it as like kind of like a side benefit on top of all the other, you know, better handling and all the other benefits of having these. So just wanted to discuss that real quick, guys. And yeah, I'm gonna get this out on the trail soon and do a little review, see how much of an improvement these things make. But I can tell you already, just standing the truck on its side, it does not fold over at all. Really, really big difference. So you get this last one mounted up. They're really easy to install. You just kind of have to squish them, jam them in a tire, and mount them like any other foam. So that's it, guys. Stay tuned for some more running video of this. I did actually just add some other things. I replaced the C-hubs with some brass C-hubs just for the stiffness and strength of the panhard mount. Same deal with the front shock towers with the panhard mount on that. I really wanted to stiffen up the whole front end and just not have any issues with stuff breaking. Plastic, I've never had good luck with plastic in the winter. I end up breaking stuff when it gets cold and brittle. I also replaced the little mount for the servo with an aluminum piece that I had found it from when I had my Jeep a year ago. Never installed it. That was really cool. It's like finding 10 bucks in your pocket, right? That's always nice. So, yep, stay tuned, guys, and consider subscribing. Give me a thumbs up, comments. If you have any other recommendations on stuff I should do to this, yeah, let me know. So one final thought, guys. If you are installing a 3D printed foam, for the ability to run in water, you're going to want to vent the tire while you have these apart and just make a couple little holes in the tire in between the treads, just so the water can drain out easily. The rims themselves are vented, so you're going to get water in through the rim. It's just going to sit in the tire. Even though these are waterproof, you don't want to have your tires filled with water, right? So vent your tires so that the water can drain out as you're driving. It's just going to run out, and you shouldn't really have any issues having to disassemble things if they get wet. So that was just a tip. Let me show you one more thing here, guys. Just a quick, I know this is like it's nothing new. 3D printed foams have been around for a while, but just like, I mean, look at the difference. I mean, it's just a crazy amount of lateral stiffness on these things. This is more almost like the rim flexing more than the actual anti-foam inside. So very cool, and stay tuned for some running video at some point.